Welcome back. The Photoshop tools layout is made up of about 6 parts. We have the move and selection tools, crop and slice tool, measurement tool, retouching and painting tools, drawing and type tools, and the navigation tools. So we have a group of tools that makes up the selection tool, which are this one, this and this made of the selection tool, and so on. Now the first tool we have here is the move tool. The move tool is used to move layers, selections and guides within the Photoshop document. If I create an object here like so, like this, with the help of the move tool, I can be able to move the object in the document from one place to another. Under the move tool, we have the artboard tool. The artboard allows us to easily create multiple canvas, multiple pages in a document. And how can we achieve that? You click to your artboard tool, then hold down your shift key, then flick and draw the artboard. Okay. Hold down your shift key, then flick and draw the artboard. Now we have artboard 2. Also draw another one, making it artboard 3. So after everything, drop the 2. So we have 3 canvas here, otherwise called 3 pages, created by the artboard 2. The next tool we have here is the selection tool, selection marquee tool. Under selection we have elliptical marquee tool, single row marquee tool, and the single column marquee tool. The rectangular marquee tool enables us to select rectangular in a rectangular form. To make a selection in rectangular form, while the elliptical marquee tool enables us to make a selection in a circular form. The single row enables us to make a selection horizontally, while the single column enables us to make selection vertically. Now, for us to make this is the rectangular marquee tool. It's for rectangular selection, while elliptical is for circular selection. Shift key for circular selection, and this one's for horizontal selection, and this is for vertical selection. And that is the work of the marquee tool. So if you want to delete one of these artboards, you come to your layer panel. Here is called the layer panel. This is artboard 3, which is the third artboard. Left click and drag it down to this button where you have delete. So we only have 2 artboards. I'm going to be making use of 2 artboards here. The next tool we have here is the lasso tool. The lasso tool enables us to trace with free hand, to make freehand tracing, freehand selection, something like this. Left click. Okay, this is not the lasso tool. This is not going to is that the first one here. It enables us to make a freehand selection. Something like so. Okay, let me place an image here. Place an image. Okay. Okay. See, I have this image here. Zoom in. To make a freeform selection, like a freehand selection, let me make a selection of this form. Okay. Maybe freehand. Let me rasterize the image. Rasterize. Now I made a freehand selection of this phone. So that is freehand. Then another thing we have here is polygonal lasso tool. Polygonal lasso tool allows us to click around an object to surround it with anchor points. Polygonal lasso tool, you can use it to trace out this phone by clicking one by one, like so, clicking on anchor point. See the difference. Then just make it rough, yeah. Then I can decide to move it out. Yeah. Then drop your tool using the move tool, drop it, then decide to move it out. Now I've selected that part using the polygonal lasso tool. Most times we use polygonal lasso tool for tracing. Erase. Ctrl D to deselect that area. Ctrl D to deselect. The next one is the magnetic lasso tool. The magnetic lasso tool snaps outline to the edges of objects, so it selects automatically. It selects automatically. If your tool you click out, it selects automatically. It moves through the outline of the object. Is it? Let me do this. Just left click and drag to be selecting. Once you get to your destination, stop and drop. I've selected the watch. So that is how magnetic lasso tool operates. Next tool we have here is the crop tool. The crop tool. The crop tool allows us to remove the unwanted part of an object. Say I don't want the trouser part. With the crop tool, I'm able to select the part I want. With the crop tool, I'm able to select the part I want. The next tool we have here is brush tool. Brush tool. The brush tool is the primary tool for painting. Brush is the primary tool for printing. I mostly use it for printing. Once you click on it, then remove. Usually used for printing purposes. You can choose the hardness of the pen tool here in the option bar. If you want it to be very small, the size of the pen tool. If you want it to be very small, then reduce it from here. It will be very small. Pen to be small. Then increase it from here too. Increase it from here. That's the size of the brush. Also, if you want it to become more blurry, reduce the hardness to blurry. Then if you want it to have a very sharp edge, come here and increase the hardness. It will be very sharp. So that is brush tool. This is the primary tool for printing. The next tool we have here is the pencil tool. The pencil tool is the second tool usually used for painting. And before you paint, you can choose your color from here. This upper one, orange, is the foreground color, while the down one, the background color. The default color is black. The default color is black and white. So if I have black here, my pencil will give me black. So you can decide to set it here by double clicking on the foreground. Whatever color you use, you click here, it will show you your foreground color. So once you move it to still be the same red color. So the pencil tool is also used to create beautiful brushes, but with sharp edges always. You can reduce the size of your brush here. Size of your brush here. So on. So forth. Okay. The next one we have is the gradient tool. The gradient tool allows us to blend two colors together. Gradient tool, I will blend two colors together in the layout. Once you activate it, left click and drag. You have something like this. This is the gradient tool. Click on the layers. Let me show you in there. Okay. Move. This is it. You can decide to adjust the two colors here. We have circular gradient. It appears in circular form. We have angle gradient. It's something like this. So that's the work of the gradient tool. The next tool is the paint bucket tool. The paint bucket tool. Paint bucket tool allows us to transfer the foreground color to different aspects of our document. Let me say I have a shape. I have this shape here. I have a rectangular box with red color. I have a circle. Use ellipse tool to draw a circle. I have a circle. Okay. Something like this. So have a polygon. To duplicate, hold the Alt key. Okay. With the alternate key, the arrow will turn double, then move. I have this my polygon with a different color. This one can be going to a different color. This color. You see, I have something like this, and my foreground color is yellow. Then decide to transform each remaining object to yellow using the paint bucket tool here. So, and before it will work, this is it. I've transferred it to the yellow. Click on the red. Use the paint bucket tool. So easy. The next tool we have here is the paint tool. The pen tool. The pen tool is majorly used for drawing different shapes, making parts, drawing shapes, and can also be used for tracing. If I want the shape of the head of this image, I can easily use the pen tool to achieve it. Use the pen tool to achieve something like this. If you want to draw a curve, left click and drag. Use something like this to achieve it. Then I close my part. Either I make it a selection or I fill the parts to make it a shape. Finish with the foreground color. So this is that's how to make use of the pen tool. So it's usually used for tracing. The next tool we have here is texture. The text tool is used for typing. This is it. It's used for making different. You have the vertical text tool, which enables you to type vertically. You have the type marks tool, horizontal type marks tool. The text tool is basically used for typing. You can use it to type whatever thing you want. So continue. Continue. You type whatever thing you want. You can decide to change your fonts from character, say Monstrat. Try to change your font here. See, using the font. Okay. The width of the font can also be changed from this place, from this. But this for the size, you can decide to reduce it to 20 size. And here is for spacing within your characters. If you want to space the character, you can make it 100. That's to space within your character. Okay, I need to space it more. Let me use 500. That's it. That's how to space within the character. The next tool here is the rectangular tool. The tool we have here is to draw shapes normally. Normally click and draw. Click and draw. Here's your property panel that contains the properties of your object. Whatever shape you are using, each property will show here, then the color, so what will show here. That is the shape I do. I can also change the color of the shape from my property. Change it to green, whatever color I want. Change it here right from the property panel. So the time you get to see that. Next one is the hand tool. Okay, under the property panel, you have other shapes which you can still draw with the same approach. Okay, still draw and also change the color with the same approach. So that is it. So the hand tool here is used to move the canvas from different locations. The hand tool enables us to move the canvas to different locations. Then these two boxes we have here is called the foreground color and the background color. The default color that this foreground and background have is black and white. Then you can decide to adjust them. The foreground color is majorly used as the color for your object, as the color for your text, as the color of any item you are creating, while the background color is the color of your layer. You can see the background color is always white and the color of your layer is always white. So that is the overview of the Photoshop tools.